So over the last decade, I've worked with hundreds of clients on their speaking and singing voices. And these clients have come from all different backgrounds. Some have come with zero vocal training skill. So we're really starting from the very beginning, and they would see themselves as a complete beginner. And other people I've worked with would consider themselves a professional. You know, they might do a lot of speaking, they might do a lot of performing, and they might have had years of vocal training before coming to see me. But I've come to realize something really, really fascinating. It's not your ability that determines your vocal success, but your mindset. More specifically, do you have a professional's mindset or an amateur's mindset? So just to reiterate, this is not to do with your skill. So you could be a complete beginner in terms of vocal skill, but you could have a professional's mindset and you will go further every single time than the person who on paper has more skill but has the amateur's mindset. And so I'm going to talk today about the difference between the professional mindset and the amateur mindset, because this is really the key to achieving your vocal dreams. Now, Stephen Pressfield wrote a brilliant book called Turning Pro. And for anyone who is following any kind of creative endeavor, whether you're a speaker, a singer, or whether it's anything else, I highly recommend this book. It is so brilliant. So he talks about this idea of the professional and the amateur mindset. Now, the amateur is terrified. Fear drives all their decisions. It drives their actions or lack of action. Or if they do take an action and they don't get the result they want, they tend to run back and think, that's it, I can't do it anymore. So often it's a fear of failure, but it can actually also be a fear of success, a fear of overachieving, a fear of underachieving, a fear of looking stupid. We can all relate to this. We really are so worried about what other people will think of us. What will someone think if I start singing on stage, or I start speaking and running workshops and events and training programs? What will my family think, my partner think, my friends think, my peers think, my colleagues think? We are really driven by what other people think of us, and our fear of being rejected ultimately is what's driving our behavior. Now, the professional is also terrified, but the difference between the professional and the amateur is that the professional acts despite the fear, and they actually go into the fear. So whereas the amateur will allow that fear to stop them acting or to run back, they're easily distracted, they're incredibly hard on themselves and also hard on other people, and full of excuses as to why it's not the right time, I can't do it, I'm not good enough. The professional acts despite all of these. So they still have these same thoughts, but they act despite these thoughts. They're courageous. They put themselves out there even when there's no guarantee of success, or is this even going to work? I don't know, but I've just got to do it. They're focused, they're committed. They take responsibility for what's showing up and use it to help them move forward and to actually learn and grow from the situation. And they ask for help. And importantly, they're actually really kind to themselves in the face of things apparently not working out or getting rejected or people not being interested. They keep moving forward and they recognize that really what they're seeing is their own mind. So anything worth doing in life requires us to step outside our comfort zone. And this is particularly true when it comes to our voice. I think we're conditioned from a very young age that speaking in public, singing in public is something that we should be terrified of. So when we do step outside our comfort zone and stand on the stage for the first time and sing, or go and run a workshop for the first time and talk in front of people, resistance will show up, guaranteed. Now, the resistance can show up in different ways. So it could appear externally. It could be, for example, that you don't get that part in an audition you go for, or you go and talk at an event and people just seem totally disengaged and disinterested in what you're saying. Or it could be that your own fear-based thoughts and doubts actually really stop you and paralyze you from moving forward. But either way, it's your own mind you're seeing and it's your own resistance you're seeing to actually becoming this person that has this incredible voice, that stands on a stage and sings in front of people, that talks in front of a group of people about something that's really important to you. But the turning pro mindset, to use Stephen Pressfield's terminology, is really hard to do on your own. Which is why, as part of my coaching with my clients, whether you work with me on your singing voice or your speaking voice, I bring in the mindset of the singer or the speaker, because the mind is ultimately driving our voice. What we think and feel will be affecting the output of our voice. I've got some links below, and you can find out more about how I work with singers and speakers in this very unique way. So you're going to get a real transformation with your voice, because we're not only looking at technique, but we're also looking at the mind that's driving the voice. So I just want to end this with a little quote from the Turning Pro book. So Stephen Pressfield writes, "When we turn pro, we become who we always were, but had until then been afraid to embrace and to live out." So thank you so much for listening. I hope I've inspired you. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. If not, I will see you on another video.